city of Maceio, the capital of the state of Alagoas. There's so many good things to say about this city. I don't know where to start, but I can say that Maceió is the most underrated beach city, in my opinion, in Brazil. And if you haven't already, check out my prior videos because I have a video listed under Vila Velha where me and an Uber driver, we talk about some of the best beaches in Brazil. And guess what? We both agreed that Maceió has some of the best beaches, and also, based on location, it's in between other states that have great beaches as well.
Maceió.
Maceió é a orla, a praia,
Praias muito
mais
bonitas.
linda que tem no Brasil, no meu entendimento.
Now, you're probably thinking, well, how did I actually discover this city? Well, after visiting the city in Natal, I had a short layover here, but I did not have enough time to venture out and see the city. So I think about 3 years ago, I came here for a vacation, and I went to a restaurant, saw a young lady working in the restaurant, and she was surprised that I was American, and I was surprised that her English was flawless. It was fluent. And I'm actually going to revisit her this trip. She was also the first to correct me in pronunciation of the city Maceió, because when I first came here, I was saying Maceio, and she was like, no, it's Maceió. Oh. So that is the pronunciation of the city Maceió. After I got my luggage, something very interesting happened during this trip. My Uber driver, who was from Guinea-Bissau in Africa, which they speak Portuguese as well, but it's more of a Creole base. So it's something similar to Cape Verde. Well, the interesting part was that he asked me where I'm from. And I said the U.S. Then he was like, okay, but where? I was like, Washington, D.C. He was like, okay, CC, but where in Africa? And I was like, I'm not from Africa. My mom and dad is from America. My grandparents are American. Their parents were American. So I guess he doesn't know a lot about U.S. history. Then he diverted to, well, you need to visit Africa. So instead of asking me, have I, he assumed I never visited Africa before. So I had to inform him that I visited more African countries than any other continent I have visited in the world. And he was shocked that I visited not just Africa and South America, but other continents as well. Then he showed me his cell phone and showed me pictures of his country, Guinea-Bissau, and showed me beaches. And he was comparing that Guinea-Bissau is comparable to Brazil, as in some of the most beautiful beaches in Africa. I didn't want to take it there, but I asked him, how many countries have you visited in Africa? He said, besides his own, Ghana. So in my mind, I was like, okay, well, how can he make a comparison if he only visited 2 African countries? But you'll see some of these clips right now.
Aeroporto, aqui se chama Rio Largo. A gente vai descer aqui. Vai sair aqui direto. Em vez de ir por aqui, vai descer aqui para sair aqui direto. E vai pegar essa via. Quando chega lá, ele mostra.
Tá.
Rio Largo, Rio Largo. Estados Unidos. Olha. Guiné-Bissau.
Guinea-Bissau.
A praia. Família. A praia é essa assim. Já. Não é piscina não. Não praia.
A little of his story is that he came from Guinea-Bissau to Brazil to study. And within, I think, his 3 years of studying in Maceió, he got married to a Brazilian. So his plan is to stay in Brazil. And in his opinion, he thinks that Brazil is much better than his own country of Guinea-Bissau. So he does not plan on going back to his country to live. And I wanted to get a little more deep into that. But as soon as I wanted to, we were right in front of my apartment. So that ended that. So here we go. Here's my routine. The first thing I do once I arrive is get food. So I'm waiting for my friend to get off from work so she can pick out the things she likes to eat. And as you see below, right there is the grocery store. In front is a pharmacy. So that's very convenient. It's like, what, 1 block away. And as I pan to the left, right there is the beach. You can't see because it's dark. So you should know me by now. If there is a beach in that city, I want to stay as close as I can to the beach if possible. And since the grocery store is near, along with the pharmacy, this area is a prime location and it's very convenient. Right now, me and my friend, we're walking to the grocery store to shop a little. If you haven't been inside a Brazilian grocery store before, now you will see some of the foods here in Brazil inside this grocery store. And what I got, of course, some water. I got some barbecue sauce, juice, potatoes, avocados. What else I got? Soup, fruit. And she got some eggs and some type of drink mix that is comparable to Kool-Aid. And we got some other things as well. But in the U.S., you would see whole aisles of nothing but this right here, which is cereal. Whereas in Brazil, you would see less cereal. What you will see more of, which is popular, is yogurt. So when you visit any Brazilian grocery store, you will see more of yogurt versus cereal. Not to say that yogurt is better than cereal or vice versa, but some of the yogurt that you will find in Brazil, to be honest, is very sugary. So it's nothing like some of the brands or the options that we have in US, because we have a vast amount of yogurts that have no sugar whatsoever. It's very plain. But in Brazil, what I find that is more popular is the sugary type of yogurts versus the healthy type. When it comes to Brazilian foods versus American foods, I can say Brazilian foods is way more organic, even though in the US we have organic foods as well. It's just that most people don't take the time to buy organic foods and they just rather eat unhealthy foods. But also the US, we have more options. As I said in other videos, Brazilian grocery stores have Brazilian foods. The US, since we have different ethnic groups, we have more of a variety of foods versus Brazil. This is my fridge for now. I'm doing it how Brazilians do, meaning that I buy foods to last for a day or two, maybe. While if I was in the US, I would buy foods to last for weeks or even a month. But since I'm here and since the grocery store is a block away, I'll just buy foods daily, if that. And while she's sleeping, my friend, to be a gentleman, I'll go ahead and just make breakfast for us since she works today. Plus, since she does so much for me when I'm here, as in bringing me dinner when she gets off from work, or even sometimes we go to her parents' place to eat barbecue, my way of repaying her is I'm going to go ahead and make breakfast and maybe a massage. I don't know. This is going to be so simple and quick. This breakfast is something that we both like, and it is eggs, potatoes, and avocados. How difficult can this be? You cannot mess this up. I think any man should know how to at least cook or make breakfast. It's very important. Also, by me cooking my own meals, I'm saving money at the same time. I don't have to eat out all the time, because when I'm back home, I never eat out. I only eat out when I travel. And I spend a lot of money on groceries. So there's no point in me eating out when I'm buying all these groceries. So I never eat out when I'm home. But here in Brazil, or when I travel, of course I want to eat out to experiment with the local foods. But again, you cannot mess this breakfast up. It's very simple and easy. And as she get up, get ready, and eat, we will be going to the beach before she actually goes to work. And here's just a little bit of some extra things we got. Sardines, tuna. She got some type of noodle packet things. We got some juice. And let's look at this view again in the daytime. Again, grocery store right there, pharmacy, a restaurant also below. Pan to the left, right there in front is the beach in Maceio. Well, one of the beaches in Maceio. My laptop right there. I'm going to show you a little bit of some of the supplements I brought along with me. I got some probiotics with prebiotics also in the back. I can't, what is that? My vitamin D and also vitamin K, which is very important. I always put this at the top of my list, vitamin D and vitamin K. I got some omega-3 with turmeric. And this is a very powerful antioxidant, 12 milligrams. You might want to check this out. It's also included with vitamin E. I got some wheatgrass. Put something, a little bit of alkaline in my body. You can't go wrong with this. This is basically like a multivitamin. And again, I got the ZMA I got from Salvador Bahia. So, I wanted to bring more, but going through customs, they're going to look at me strange like, what is all this crap? I got some chewable ginger. This is basically for when I fly, for motion sickness. This is some sugar-free gum with no sugar. And that's about it. I try to bring less as possible, but it's very hard. And this right here is the rack that we use when we wash clothes, because there is a washer and dryer inside this apartment. So that's a little tour of the apartment. She's awake, eating, so we're about to get dressed and go downstairs and check out this beach you're seeing right here. Now, Maceió has many popular beaches, but in my opinion, my two favorite are Praia de Ponte Verde and Pajuçara. These are my two favorite. You cannot go wrong. Well, if you come to Maceió, it is no beach that you can go to and go wrong with. There's lots of many beaches to choose from. These are just my two favorite. But if you plan to visit this city of Maceió, I would advise you to check those two out. Again, Praia de Ponte Verde and Pajuçara.